Rogues fill a plethora of a plethora of niches of styles, from being a thief to being an assassin to being kind of more of a investigator to being someone who is able to scout ahead, even using some magic or some strange mental abilities. But one individual thought they needed was a simple one of being a bandit. Hello, welcome back, or welcome to DIS. I am Dissidia, and you're hearing me speak again, or for the first time. Whichever it is, welcome, welcome, welcome. And today, we're going to... I'm just pulling it down just a little bit. That works. We're going into the Rogue Bandit, and so without further ado, let's get into that. Rogue Archetype Bandit. You focus your skills on intimidation and strong arming to get what you want. Your training comes from outlaws and the outskirts of society, often the archetype of scoundrels such as outlaws, bandits, and pirates. You gain the ability to strike paralyzing fear and overpower your foes, then capitalize on these debilitations. Fearsome talent. When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with intimidation if you do not have it already. Additionally, once on each combat, or in each combat, as an bonus action, you can force each creature of your choice that can see or hear within 30 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature becomes frightened of you for 1 minute. The frightened creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Simply effective. Starting at 3rd level, all simple weapons benefit from your sneak attack. You also gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You do not require advantage on the attack or any other enemy of the target within 5 feet of it if the target is feared, probably frightened, grappled, or incapacitated. Ransom. At 9th level, you may cast Geas at 5th level. Once you do so, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. When cast in this manner, it gains a material component, being a person or object of great importance to the target. Additionally, the psychic damage that would be dealt by the spell is instead dealt to the material component provided. If the material component is lost, destroyed, or killed, the spell ends. Interesting. Strong Arm. At 13th level, you can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to grapple. And finally, at 17th level, and then finally, Paralyzing Presence. At 17th level, creatures within 5 feet of you that are frightened of you and do not have an allied creature within 5 feet of them are paralyzed. Interesting. Very short. That is alright. Review time. On to the review itself. This is a very short, quick one, seemingly, which is nice. I'm all for it. For a bandit, using intimidation, strong arming, kind of other less legal or correct ways to fight is pretty interesting. Works perfectly with a rogue. I feel like it... I don't know, the concept itself seems a bit basic, but some of this stuff is interesting where you have proficiency and intimidation. That's pretty nice, and then you can basically frighten people as a bonus action, which is pretty interesting. And then all simple weapons benefit from your sneak attack. That's pretty interesting too. Probably meaning that if you want strength as it, you can. And then if someone's frightened, grappled, or incapacitated, you can use your sneak attack against them, which is pretty interesting. Let's see here. I feel like for incapacitated, because I think they have advantage anyway. Feared or frightened or grappled, that I can... that's pretty interesting. The ransom, the Geas spell thing, that's pretty interesting. I don't know if it would be like you You don't have to flavor it as magical per se. And well, if you want to, you can. But I was also thinking you can make it like more apropos or prevalent in the in that world, in the setting itself. Um, Strong arm, cunning action to grapple. That's pretty interesting. Seems like a little late for that to come into effect. And then paralyzing presence. If someone's afraid of you, and you're within 5 feet of you, they're paralyzed. So this seems like a very much front and center rogue, which is interesting. I feel like most rogues shouldn't be, but that's all right. Anything that's overpowered or underpowered, not that I can think of. I think that well, it needs a DC for the frightened wisdom saving throw thing. Let's see here. I don't know what that DC should be. Maybe something like your charisma, your intimidation +8 or something like that. Let's see here. Yeah. Does seem a bit interesting. Does seem a bit lackluster. I don't know how I would change it up to make it better. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Of course, I'm going to do some lore crafting on Saturday, which should be fun. Anything else? Of course, keep in your mind my sister's D&D inspired bar idea whenever that comes out. I'm still streaming Neverwinter and Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars, which is fun. I am going through both of them. Probably, I think I'm more than halfway done of the Star Wars Clone Wars. And I've got a few more like campaign adventure things for Neverwinter, which is interesting. I don't know what games I'll play after that. Let's see. Anything else? Not that I can think of. Oh, my next subclass that I'm doing, we're going into the Sorcerer. This one is called the Radioactive Soul, which is interesting. Kind of could be better for a more modern setting, which should be interesting. But you can make it, you can tailor it how you see fit. Anything else? I don't think so. I will see you guys in the next video. If you're interested in anything that I'm writing or whatever, let me know. I've got a couple weeks before school starts back up again, so that's fun. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later. This idiot, out.